Okay, now the story of Homefront starts off in the year 2027 with United States being taken over by a now unified Korea, which is North Korea, South Korea, pretty much going high five, let's team up and take over United States. So they pretty much come over, take us over while we're having a bunch of problems, economical issues, and this bird flu thing, which they don't really explain, but there's a flu going around, and of course people are weak, so they take advantage of that, and we're weak. They take us over, and it's pretty much we're stuck with a ragtag team of soldiers, like many games, and you're the main character named Jacobs, who doesn't have a voice, which I freaking hate. I hate when characters don't have voices, and you pretty much go off on this adventure to try to stop the Koreans by killing them and destroying stuff. And of course, this guy and a whole bunch of other people isn't gonna be enough, so of course, there's going to be a sequel, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, the story, I think, is actually really good. There's a lot of harsh depictions of stuff here and there. The freaking opening of the game is very harsh. I mean, it starts off with a kid watching his family getting murdered right there. And it really does set the mood for the story. It doesn't go very far after that. There is some scenes where it's actually kind of disturbing, but it doesn't go as far as it should have. But anyway, I thought the story was still really good. Let's go on to the sound. Okay, now the sound in Homefront, many people have been saying that the sound is very outdated. They've been saying the sound design's not great, the guns don't sound all that fantastic. They sound like toy guns, that's what I've been hearing mostly. And just the sound design is not as good as stuff like Battlefield Bad Company 2 or even Call of Duty. Well, I'm going to say right here, I actually thought the sound was great in this game. I thought the voice acting was really good for the amount there is, because the campaign's pretty short. It's only 4 hours, and that's really all the voiceovers you're going to get, besides maybe in the multiplayer where someone says, oh, get down, or oh, we're about to lose, or something like that. That's really all the voice acting you get. But for the amount of time that there is voice acting, it's actually pretty good. And the sound design isn't bad. I thought the gun sounded really good, just the explosions in the far and stuff. Everything sounded really good to me. So overall, I thought the sound was actually great. So let's go on to the graphics. Okay, now the graphics in the Homefront are actually really, really good. I know many critics have been saying that these graphics are not great, they're very outdated, they don't look as good as Call of Duty or Killzone 3. Not every game has to look as good as those games. Those games look great. This game does look great in its own way. I thought the environments looked really good, besides a few hiccups here and there, like textures that aren't popping in. Sometimes you just see a big freaking texture that's blurred, and you're just staring at it for like a couple of seconds, and then it just pops in, and you're like, oh, okay, there you go. It actually looks pretty good. Besides that, there's actually some environments that do look pretty generic and outdated, even with the textures, sure. But there's actually a few environments where sometimes you're in a helicopter, you're just flying by, and it looks really good. Some of the effects here and there, like the explosions, look really, really good. There's one scene where you're on a bridge and just freaking helicopters are whizzing by, and so much is going on in this. There's water everywhere, and it looks beautiful. The scenery does look beautiful, and you actually want to take some time out just to look at some of these things. And I just thought the graphics were really good. I know many people have been saying, oh, they're not that great, but I thought they looked really good. And of course, some of the character models aren't that great. There's one character in particular that I did see that was really bad, where it looked like his mouth just consumed his freaking face, and it was just, what the hell is going on with that character? Anyway, some of the characters not great, some of the environments aren't that great, but I do think a lot of the environments do look great, and some of the character models do look pretty good. So overall, I would say the graphics for Homefront are really good. Let's go on to the gameplay. Okay, now the gameplay in Homefront is the main part of a game. It's the gameplay. Is it good in Homefront? I think it is. The single player is very short. Like I mentioned before, it is very short. Like, I beat it in maybe a little over 4 hours, so it's kind of like Vanquish, where it was really short, but unlike Vanquish, this actually has multiplayer, and the multiplayer is a lot of fun, just like the single player campaign. The multiplayer is the basic kind of multiplayer where you keep going, get level ups, and unlock more stuff for your guns, like upgrades, like attachments, like different sights, a whole bunch of all that kind of stuff. The obvious stuff for multiplayer, but it's actually a lot of fun. A lot of the maps are actually really good too. I was expecting the maps to be kind of boring or something like that. Like, I like Call of Duty Black Ops a lot, but I think the multiplayer maps are not that great. I think the multiplayer maps in Homefront are actually better than Black Ops, and I'm sorry I'm comparing it to that, but many people have, so why not me compare it to it? So anyway, I thought the multiplayer was a lot of fun. They also did add one other thing in here, which I forgot to mention, which is these things called battle points, where it pretty much replaces the XP system in Call of Duty Black Ops, where you kill someone, you get like 100 XP or something like that. In this, you actually get battle points, which you can use inside the game when you're playing to upgrade, not upgrade, like upgrade your armor, get vehicles, get like a rocket launcher or something like that, or get like not RC, but it's like a RC helicopter pretty much, and go in the air and blow shit up. And that's really cool. I like the battle points thing, but it's been used in other games. The one that I'm thinking of right now is Monday Night Combat, where you can just upgrade on the fly right there, and that's cool. But it's nothing we haven't seen before, and it's something cool to add in there, but it's not innovative at all, really. But I'm gonna say right here, the multiplayer is still a lot of fun, and the single player is, for its shortness, still a lot of fun, and the story's pretty good for the game, the 4 hours you play it. So overall, I really liked Homefront. I know a lot of people haven't been caring for it, but I really do like Homefront. It's a fun FPS. Sure, it's somewhat generic, but it is a lot of fun. So overall, there you go. There's my review for Homefront. I think you guys should check it out. And while you're checking that out, check the description below for the written review and the score. So thank you and goodbye.